Hey guys, Tara here, bring you a 1v1 today. We are on Angoville. Like for today, spawning in the north, we have Jesulin as OKW, and his loadout is Luftwaffe Ground Forces. The special Jesulin edition of Scavenge. Got his portrait there as the commander. There was a GCS2 or GCS reward coming 4th. Was it 4th? I think so. And Firestorm. In the south we have Siddolio as the Brits, who has Commandos, Royal Engineer and Special Weapons. So we see Jesulin coming out onto this side with his Sternpine. He's not going to try to go aggro on the fuel. We also saw an interesting path by Siddolio. Steer coming around this way, came out this way, so neutralizing the potential for a Sternpine ambush coming around this corner. So good pathing by there. Just those little details can make a big difference. So you got a little bit of that reinforced wire on this cutoff. Certainly the north spawn on this map is a decent amount worse than the south. But then again, the south does have this troublesome cut-off house, which can be a big problem if you don't have flamethrowers like the Brits typically don't, but I imagine Siddolio is going to get the Wasp because he is quite well known for his universal carrier playstyle. Anyway, universal carrier, very strong on this map as well, especially on the left-hand side, lots of open space. It's not going to get trapped behind any pathing blockers and end up getting Fausted. Some reason not firing. Okay, there it goes. Maybe he's reloading. There's a few bursts in there. Tommies don't quite get the neutralizer on the cutoff here. Universal carrier coming over to support, it looks like. Looks like Tommy's gonna win this engagement though, even though they're out in the open. Just not dropping any models. Good luck there for Siddolio on those model drops. Meanwhile, Jesulin's getting on top of the fuel. We have this squad right outside this cutoff. Don't want to leave the safety of the building to get. Now they are after the Sternpine has switched sides. And this Tommy's going to have to get out of there. Going for the cutoff and so sending his UC over here. You have a Raketen coming in for Jesulin. It's the decision you got to make, really. Whether to go for the UC, or a Raketen to counter the UC, or just try to soak up the manpower damage. He's going to go for the Raketen, which I think is the right choice. So he's been suffering a lot of model bleeds. This nearly hit one already. It's just so mobile, switching from side to side really quickly. Very strong on this map.
The new platoon command post is ready.
He's using the self repair here. Get it back to full.
Repairs complete.
So you just get in here, but doesn't have the truck set up yet, so no Faust available. Here just stalling for the arrival of his Raketen, which I'm not sure how it pathed its way here, but hopefully it avoided sight from this squad. He's creeping over here. He wants to get the cutoff, and perhaps Siddolio expecting the Raketen to be over here. Hasn't brought his UC in quite yet. A good cutoff here by Jesulin. Oh, misses the opening shot there. Long range on the small target size of Universal Carrier. Not surprising. And now the Raketen's actually in a bit of jeopardy of going down here. He's going to back it over the negative cover, taking shots from multiple angles. He's going to need to retreat that. Could even lose it retreating down this road. That's this section in the house.
So on that extra
he gets away. That was a close call though. Probably personally wouldn't have
Enemies trying to take a point from us.
gone for the long range shot on the Raketen. I mean, if it was the kill shot, I definitely would, but on this amount of health, pretty sure that's not going to result in a kill. So probably not worthwhile revealing the fact you have the Raketen there, because otherwise maybe the UC would close in and you'd have a better opportunity. Wow, that Stern Pioneer squad got shredded by the Vickers at close range there. Because it's very high damage. I think he's crushed this. I'm pretty sure he sent his truck out specifically along this way to crush this fence, because this fence is just such a pain in the ass. Constantly having to come around this side or this side. It's just straight out onto your cutoff. It's a massive handicap. I wish they'd just open up a gap here like they did on Angoville approach outside the base. There's that light cover fence previously blocking the way. Would be a nice quality of life change for this map, and probably alleviate a little bit of the balance issues between the north and
An
south.
infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
Ooh. Out of sight, doesn't go for the attack ground. Yeah, goes for it now. Too late. Close call there though. 5-man upgrade for Siddolio, and he calls in a squad of the AT sections. Pretty standard build so far.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Vehicle ready to go.
Meanwhile, Jesulin taking control of the left, but fuel control over the last minute or so hasn't been very strong. And I think a large part of that is because he's one unit down right now. Having to go for that Raketen to try counter the UC without killing it. It's left him with one less combat capable squad on the field. It's hurting his map control.
Upgrade all done and give it a polish.
He is going for a second Stern Pioneer now, which is a bit of a surprise. Have to see how he gets on with it.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Wouldn't be a bad time for a MG34, honestly.
Gear stowed and ready to go.
The enemy cut our
Siddolio
supply
has
line.
indeed gone for the
Our
Wasp.
supply line's broken.
Oh, the squad not being monitored. Gonna get onto the road, be forced to retreat there by Stern Pioneers. Do have a cutoff here by Jesulin. Nice maneuvering. There's that cheeky nade over the hedgerow into the building, cleared it out, and then came over and took control of it, securing the cutoff. But here is the Wasp. This is why the Wasp is so handy. Looks like he's going to try to go for some attack ground. Across the wall. Now back into this. The Kitten's in a nice position. Jumps out looking for the Faust. And he doesn't get it. Oh, but the UC's heading in an unusual direction. He's going to get away. That was a close call though. Could have probably see the UC up here facing this direction just to attack ground. But I guess he just wasn't anticipating the kitten being there. Jeez, they're not going for the flak half track, going to try go for a fast tech. But your tech truck around here, you can, cover this cutoff a little bit. Make your control of the left-hand side a lot more secure. But he is having trouble with these Stern Pioneers. Leading models on the approach. Kitten Being used for capping. Generally a very good idea to use for capping, but in a situation where there's still a vehicle on the field, probably wouldn't be using it here. Trying to get it into a position where I could camouflage and try ambush the vehicle.
We're losing a capture point.
Looks like it might work out because you see he's coming over to this right hand side. So things kind of looking quite good for Jesulin now. This is not being discovered. Not going to be harassed in the nick of time at least. He's got the AT section heading out that way now, but it's too late to stop it. Jesulin with double stern pioneers, even if this does take a little bit of damage, be able to repair it quite easily.
The command vehicle has converted to a static building. Enemy infantry!
So this is actually quite a good timing for Jesulin because Siddolio, having gone for the 5-man upgrade, that also delays his vehicles. So he himself is actually quite far away from having a tank out.
Contact! Enemy infantry! Infantry attacking in force!
Whereas otherwise, you know, against other factions, the threat of the light vehicle is a lot stronger. You know, T-70 could do a lot of damage, whereas the AEC is not nearly as threatening against infantry. Similar with USF with the Greyhound.
Combat unit ready.
So that's what's making this kind of build possible for Jesulin. But he's also been, you know, very good with his cutoffs so far. Putting up a very good fight for the resources. Whoa! Using destroy cover here to get rid of this hedgerow. Looks like Siddolio are going to go all in on the right hand side. Which does make sense now that he can't contest this cutoff. Does make controlling the left a lot less appealing. And you know, if he settles in with a few support weapons, just tries to camp out this right hand side. This is where both the VPs are. And this is generally where you try to camp out for the late game on the right hand side. Whoever's winning the game usually camps out the right. Kitten tried to come over here, but it's going to be forced to retreat. Going to need to be healed up as well.
Squad back to full strength.
Jesulin, you know, he's got a lot of fuel coming in. This Panzer IV is going to be coming in about 3 minutes. Whereas Siddolio, he's struggling. Kind of surprised that he sent squads out on this side instead of just trying to lock down this right hand side. Which seemed to make more sense to me. The Universal Carrier is doing really good work on this side though. But yeah, now I'm not sure if he's going to be able to win this engagement over here. Just to retreat, and really, you know, didn't get the neutralize here. So kind of wasted sending these squads over here. Didn't manage to do much resource damage to Jesulin at all. And if he had those extra squads on this side, probably could have got onto his own resources a lot more effectively. It's always a tough balance to decide when to go on the aggressive, try cap your opponent's fuel, or when to play more defensively. And here we go. I know that Sturm Tiger Sage 6 used to be a big fan of putting Vickers in these buildings and destroying cover surrounding them. Looks like Siddolio's going to use that trick too. Kitten gets one shot in. Oh, doesn't quite get the second one. Man, that Universal Carrier's had a bit of luck, but also I think Jesulin hasn't been that strong with his attack grounds on it. When it gets close to max range, you know, and you're worried about losing sight of the enemy vehicle, just go for the attack ground.
Our infantry are ready to hold the line.
There's a 4 coming in for Jesulin very shortly. Siddolio's invested in 2 anti-tank guns, realizing his lack of fuel is going to become an issue against the vehicles, and also being Brits, you know, not having widespread access to the anti-tank grenade, so he does have the 1 AT section. But, you know, if you only have 1 AT gun and you get circle strafed by the Panzer IV, you can just lose the game on the spot, so he's gone for the double AT guns. Which leaves him in a less vulnerable position. Looks like he's bringing them up here, perhaps considering making a push on the tech structure, but the P4 arriving, perhaps he's going to think better of it before making a beeline straight for this building, get rid of the machine gun in it. Once again, Siddolio pushing out onto the left hand side. Can he get the resource damage done though? I'm not sure. No. He's going to get the munitions, it looks like, but it's not the fuel. And he's about to lose control of his own fuel once again. Oh, is this the end of the UC finally? No. And Siddolio has managed to buy enough time to get himself a vehicle. It's going to be the Centaur. No, he's a big fan of the Centaur's Vet 1 auto wipe ability.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
And with 2 AT guns on the field, should be able to deal with Panzer IVs alright.
The enemy cut our supply line.
Here comes Jesulin's troops. Making a bit of a push. Where are these AT guns? One coming out of the base now. Oh, they're both in a very defensive base kind of position. Not the best positioning of them. Getting forced away from the right hand side. Looks like he's got the flares available. And he's lobbed them at this building. I think that was a bit of a waste. He kind of needs that building for his machine gun. Very useful for holding on to this right hand side. Perhaps if he didn't have the universal carrier, that would be a wise idea, but this is a wasted resource by Siddolio. Oh! Oh, Jesulin not watching over here. He's going to lose his stern pioneers. Double AT guns. P4's got to get out of there. But yeah, once again I feel like this is Siddolio pushing onto the left hand side, not having much success. Instead of just trying to lock down this right hand side. Like it's cost him a lot of map control.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Especially when you've got support weapons that you have to cart around. Playing a more static game is more to your advantage. Second P4 for Jesulin. Could this be the kill? No. It's a shot on the Centaur. Still vet 2 for the Raketen. That's a nice pickup. Only one squad of repairs for Siddolio though. He might need another one. Because a few mines would actually be quite helpful for him in this position as well. Strapped for population at the moment, but... or manpower rather.
Coordinated direct and indirect fire is ready to hit the target location.
Oh, tried to plant a mine. Actually with the second engineers. Maybe I just didn't spot them up
The
there.
enemy are determined, and we are down to 300 points.
Oh. Tried to go for the attack ground through the hedge, but doesn't get through it. Oh, we've got the AT sections on the chase of the Panzer IV. It's going down the road, so it's going to be quite fast in its retreat. And it looks like it's going to get away. Siddolio finally regathering control out here on the right. Oh, he keeps sending squads out to the left. I'm just not a fan of that strategy. Jesulin's keeping him well contained. Sometimes it's a good idea to do with like a real low value squad if you've got like a combat engineer or something that you don't really need. To just probe the lines. You know, 5-man Tommy is pretty important for your strategy. Once again, doesn't have enough defenses to hold on to the cutoff because of this.
Supply line's been cut.
Jesulin's got the 2 tanks now, but it's actually going to be quite a struggle for him to close out this game. It's super risky just diving with 2 AT guns on the field. So when you're this far ahead, you're facing this many team weapons, it might be worth thinking about taking up and going for the walking Stuka. I know that it's not a very common 1v1 play, but I feel like in this case it probably makes sense. Especially if he's got a few mines down, preventing any dives.
Being shot at now. Orders coming in.
This UC has been so strong. 12 kills. It's chased off the left. So sending that squad out here did net him 2 standard territory points. A little bit of resources. But, you know, maybe if he had those extra squads, defending his cutoff, we actually have control of the right. He's destroying more cover. It looks like he wants to get rid of all of this. Oh, the UC finally goes down in a blaze of glory.
Just lost some armor.
It does have really cool death animation, I have to say.
Supplies
Fuel
looking a bit
tanks
squiffy. Line's
keep
been
blowing
cut.
up. Yeah, 6-pounder doesn't quite have a line here behind the wall. It's gone for a sniper now.
They're working round the sides. Enemy causing trouble. Trying to
Actually
take
got a
one
trench over here, which is actually doing a pretty good job. He's got the vet bonus as well, so he's going to have the extra range on it. And it's in a very defensive position, unlikely to get garrisoned by his enemy in that position. So making the most of the fact that this building got destroyed by building a trench, which are very uncommon to see these days, since they can now be garrisoned by both teams. Siddolio still struggling to hold on to any resources, but at the very least he's got control of 1 VP. He's quite far behind in the VP game though. But at least he's not suffering the triple cap. Oh my god, 3rd Panzer IV for Jesulin. This suggests he's going to try and make it a bit of an all-in push. He's going for another tech truck as well. Maybe he wants to get the repairs. The Stern Pioneers can be more free to roam the battlefield, use their minesweeping. And just generally repair upkeep for 3 tanks. It's probably more than one Stern Pioneer can handle. Even with the minesweeper repair upgrade. There it goes. Putting it, you know, close to this road so you can back up to it really rapidly, but also defensive position won't get bombed out by the concentrated fire operation there. Tanks exchange blows. Siddolio getting close to the amount of fuel for another tank. But facing off against this many Panzer IVs, might want to save for the Firefly. So he's 3 Panzer IVs. Oh man, look at this pathing issue. Hilly terrain there, blocking those Panzer IV shots. Preventing the kill there. Centaur being used very defensively, picking up kills. This one gets the cut off there, only cutting off one resource sector though, so not a big deal. Jeez, I'm putting down some mines.
We're losing a capture point. The supply line's been cut.
Sniper using... Oh!
Squad knocked out.
Well, using get yourself killed. Is that 3 AT guns now? Uh-oh.
200 points remaining.
Jesulin calls in the planes. Getting some good damage in here, pinning these units. Panzer IV's kind of going in, but not in a big enough way here. Could lose one of his P4s. Oh, he does! Max range! He's picked off by those AT guns. 6-pounder has excellent accuracy.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Even at max range. I think it's got close to 100% to land on a medium tank. Oh, wipe on the Centaur with its strafing fire ability. Centaur shooting at these planes, but can they do an anti-tank strafe to finish it off before they get shot down? Looks like he's left the danger zone, so they're not going to target him.
Ready for orders.
So yeah, Jesulin there kind of spotting a half opportunity and going in, ends up losing his Panzer IV and a squad. So very poor engagement for him. Perhaps if he had all 3 Panzer IVs there, but one was back here being repaired, so couldn't engage. And really needed all 3 tanks there to be able to deal with 3 anti-tank guns. Which is why walking Stuka would have been nice. Maybe you'll think about going for that now. There's a little bit more manpower, but facing off against this many tank guns, trying to use tanks against it is challenging. Very challenging. Interesting that Jesulin selected this commander as well. I can't remember what his other commanders were, but made use of this ability now, but hasn't really used anything else from it. I know that Von Ivan's been using a few of those flak emplacements since they got buffed to a similar power level as the flak half-track. And quite often you see people go for a Fallschirmjäger squad before they get their tech up and get out obers. But we didn't see any of that from Jesulin, so I haven't seen him use the Valiant Assault yet. Though kind of hard to use Valiant Assault to try and flank your enemy when your enemy's confined into like 1/6 of the map. Anyway, Siddolio has built a tank, well, it's in production. It's going for the Cromwell. Jesulin actually quite low on squads at the moment, because remember he only built 3 squad of Volksschmieders in the first place.
The capture point is being overrun.
And then ended up losing one to the strafing fire ability.
The enemy cut our supply line.
In comes a walking Stuka barrage.
A rather splendid Cromwell. The gun is not true.
Decent barrage there, kind of did it across this way, perhaps expecting the retreat. Ends up wiping the Vickers, getting one model from this 6-pounder as well. Decent opening salvo there, but wouldn't write home about it. Kidding in the exact same position it's been for ages, but it looks like it's going to go down to the strafing fire ability there. See a squad go down as well for Siddolio this time. Looks like Intersection's going to go for the steal on the Raketen. Is he going to have 4 anti-tank guns now? This is insanity. Oh, the 6-pounder's wailing on that P4. Oh, and they again pick him off at max range. Oh, this could go horribly wrong for Jesulin. Only got 1 tank now. His strafing fire ability is just so strong, just basically insta wipe on anything. Which is why it was mentioned as a change in the spring balance change log. I think what they're going to do at the moment, you can set like a really small arc of fire, so it just goes bzz, bzz, across a real short distance. They're going to change it so you have to do it across a longer distance. But yeah, with the Centaur on the field, no anti-tank guns to force it back himself, no tank destroyer to force it back from a safe range. Jesulin's in a dangerous position. P4 is always in jeopardy when there's so many anti-tank guns running around.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Oh no, is he going to lose his obers here? No, not quite. He's calling in the airborne assault deep into enemy territory. Oh, and he gets engine damage on it. P4 wants to go in for the chase. There's a 6-pounder in a nice position to land shots on it though. Other 6-pounders moving up as well. P4 wants to back away now. I think it's going to get away. Oh no! Raketen from the other side gets the kill. AT Strafe takes down the V3 Centaur, but now Jesulin, look at his supply. 40 supply to Siddolio's 74. Siddolio now
just knocked
has
out
a
a vehicle.
massive lead. Not sure what the walking Stuka targeted there, but didn't seem to hit anything. Now Siddolio taking over the map. Jesulin's still got a lot of fuel. And a lot of manpower. Looks like he's saving for a King Tiger. My word.
Enemies trying to take it away from us.
I'm not sure how that's going to end up working out against 4 anti-tank guns. Against 2 anti-tank guns you can probably get away with it, especially against the Brits who don't have many snares, but against 4 anti-tank guns I have my doubts.
The capture point is being overrun.
Some buggers got us marks.
Oh man. Jesulin's got his walking Stuka ready to fire. I don't think he's got really any line of sight of any targets for it though. He doesn't know where anything is. Could use the recon pass though. Just scope the locations. Do use this pass, I mean Siddolio's probably going to notice and maybe start moving his team weapons, but you can play those high IQ mind games. Predict where he's going to move his units to. Still do some good damage. Looks like he's going to just hold on to it. Perhaps use it against anti-tank guns as they engage its King Tiger. Force them to move then. Also a pretty good idea. Very careful though, he doesn't get sniped by this Cromwell. There's a second one coming in for Siddolio shortly as well.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
He's dodging these mines with his tanks. Oh, and that's a dead stern pioneer.
Enemy squad killed. Good infantry squad attacking us. Left side. Promotion.
Here comes the KT. We got one AT gun in position to start wailing away. Oh, and the Raketin. I didn't see that there. This is where he should be. Oh, why is he using it on over there? It's quite a lot of health damage, but ends up losing it to the Cromwell. Cromwell runs over a mine though. KT not on full health, so it's a bit risky. No, he's going to call in these airborne assaults. And looks like he's going in with the King Tiger. He's pounding in a good position to stop this King Tiger's charge. And the anti-tank planes are not going to come in time to actually finish off this Cromwell. And that's kind of Jesulin running out of steam now. Losing his walking Stuka there was a massive blow. Everything's penetrating this King Tiger now. Jesulin getting super unlucky. Bounces that hit finally. And the anti-tank planes come in. Some good damage in. Siddolio took a risk there. I think he needed 2 more shots to kill the KTs, so if one more of those shots penetrated, he probably would have gone in for the dive. Jesulin calls in some Fallschirmjäger. Not a bad option when you don't have enough munitions to upgrade the Ober LMG.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our
These
points.
5-man sections are causing him some headaches. Even his STG upgraded Volksjägers are struggling to trade against them. And they don't even have weapon upgrades. Jesulin just slowly losing control of the map. Man, imagine if he just used the walking Stuka like over here, trying to barrage these anti-tank guns over here that were shooting at his King Tiger. Would have been in a much more safe position against a Cromwell push. But also Jesulin perhaps not making the best use of his lead. Generally when you've got such a commanding position like he had when he had the 3 Panzer IVs, you want to spam mines everywhere. So that as soon as your opponent starts to push back onto the field, they're running into mines left and right. I know he planted like a few over here. I think we've seen maybe about 4 mines from him, but you want like 15 mines. That way, if in situations like now where you just don't have time to plant mines, you still have a few mines, especially in positions like maybe over here, this road here, over here. And especially important to do that if you're getting a piece of indirect fire. Is susceptible to being dived. So, Siddolio trying to go in for the kill on the tech structure, finish out the job here. Jesulin was building a looks there briefly, cancelled it. I'm not sure what he's going for. AT gun sprinting away to safety.
The capture point is being overrun.
King Tiger getting a good hit in there. Fortunately may get the Faust in, but King Tiger a bit too slow to chase it. Hiding himself behind this building quite effectively, and now anti-tank guns are in position. King Tiger charging in, taking damage from many angles. AT gun gets cleared out, but there's still 2 more chasing him down from the left. KT exposing his rear armor. Cromwell gonna come in, try to get the kill. Jesulin trying to drive it out this way, trying to stay away from those artillery shells. Oh, but penetration from AT sections and from the Cromwell spell the end of the King Tiger, and that's the game. So yeah, I mean, we've seen a few games now. Players with a commanding lead ended up losing it, just, you know, playing a little bit too aggressively. In this case, it was Jesulin spotting half an opening, then rushing his tanks and running into 3 anti-tank guns, losing that first Panzer IV. And then just slowly lost the game, inch by inch after that. You know, when your opponent's got so many support weapons like Siddolio had, and he's got no fuel. If he went for the walking Stuka after the 2 Panzer IVs, so you're going for the 3rd Panzer IV, this could have been a completely different match, because Siddolio would have only had that Centaur. Centaur's not very fast, quite bad at going for the dive on the walking Stuka, whereas the Cromwell's perfect for it, really speedy, chase it down really easily, and get the kill on the walking Stuka. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.